So just recently, Tesla announced a new incentive, $3,750 if you took delivery of their inventory this month, December of 2022. Well, just recently, just a day ago, Tesla announced a new increased amount, $7,500. We're gonna go over what you have to do to get it and when should you buy compared to the EV tax credit. How are these two different? Because I promise you, they are very, very different, so stick around. This is big news. Tesla has now doubled their initial incentive if you took delivery this month of December 2022. So I have done other videos on this credit recently, but now not only have they doubled that incentive from the original $3,750, they're adding 10,000 supercharger miles for free. So if I can give you an example, I have around 13,000 free supercharging miles from previous Tesla referral programs. So I can just tell you right now, if you're looking at this incentive and you're wondering, well, when should I buy? How is this different than what I'm going to get on the EV tax credit? Well, number one, so the supercharging miles, are you going to use 10,000 miles? I believe they expire in 2 years. So how many have I gone through in about a year and a half of owning my Model 3? So two things. One, if you do not have a home charger, this is huge. And number two, if you go on many, many road trips and you expect, or you have a long commute, you expect to drive a lot of miles, this is also big news. I have around 25,000 miles on my Tesla. A brand new app update just came out. So now I can share with you how much percentage I've used of supercharger miles versus my home charging network. Now, obviously, if you have a home charger, it's much more convenient, it's less expensive. So if you're deciding, well, when should I buy? How is this different than the EV tax credit? Examining those 10,000 supercharger miles, I've only used superchargers 3% of my charging for 2022. My total charging, while mostly done at home, was $808, give or take. So supercharger miles of this incentive is good, again, for road trips or if you need charging. Now let's get into the $7,500. So this was absolutely unexpected. I did not think that Tesla was going to double their incentive. I was really hoping for, and still am, maybe in Q1 of next year, that they lower prices. I know that might be a little optimistic, but right now, this is what your options are. EV tax credit versus this Tesla credit, let's call it. So right now with the Tesla credit, you get that immediately. That is not the case with the federal EV tax credit program through the Inflation Reduction Act. Through the EV tax credit, you have to wait until 2024. So whenever you take your delivery, let's say in 2023, next year, let's say you wait, then you don't get that credit until you file your taxes for 2023, which would be in 2024. So another big advantage of the Tesla credit, let's call it, is there's no more income caps. Unlike the EV tax credit, where there are certain thresholds of income that if you make more than a certain amount based on which car you're purchasing, you do not get the EV tax credit. But this $7,500, no matter what your income is, you will get the Tesla credit for deliveries in December. So one final huge critical piece that I want you to know if you are thinking about a Model 3 and a Model Y is that this Tesla credit is good for those two vehicles, the Model 3 and the Model Y. And unlike the EV tax credit, there's less caveats. So we are waiting for new information from the IRS to tell us which Teslas qualify in that EV tax credit, again, based on the stringent battery and minerals criteria. That is huge news. I want to share with you how much you can expect to pay. So I have the rear wheel drive. I paid $42,000 probably a year and a half ago, July 2021. So let's go ahead and look at the Tesla website. And if you get a, let's say the rear wheel drive, just for perspective. Now, obviously you get a more expensive car, your monthly payment is gonna go up. That goes without saying. But this will give you a comparison. I will tell you my price and then we'll compare it to what you'll be paying. Because again, the interest rates have changed. I pay $590. So let's look at the current price and then take off $70 $7,500. So the cool thing is, if you are thinking about the Model 3 rear-wheel drive in this example, you're going to be right around those 2021 prices with this new credit, and you don't have to worry about, well, will my purchase qualify? Again, the 3 and the Ys do. The full amount, there's no criteria. So I want to give you a warning about this credit. Now, it's not anything bad. I don't want to mislead you and say something that is clickbait basically, but it is something to keep in mind. As you're looking for inventory, it goes quick, and that is a fact. But if you're considering, well, I don't mind driving a few hours to go pick up my Tesla, I wanted to see all the options near me around Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I plugged in a 200-mile radius just to see what was out there. So something that I almost missed, and I just want to point out, is if you take delivery too far away from your location and you scroll down, you can click a button that basically says view details, and you want to scroll to the fine print basically. And based on the location of this sale, there's sometimes restrictions on which state you can register that car for. So for example, there are plenty of vehicles located near enough to me in Washington, D.C. Well, hey, maybe I'll take a road trip and I'll get a brand new Tesla. Well, if you look, you cannot register those particular vehicles, I should say, in Pennsylvania. So this is all on the heels of Tesla making a very strong push in Q4, something they have traditionally done, but we have never ever before seen such an aggressive discount. In fact, Tesla is not known for discounting or giving any kind of rebates at all. On the contrary, we've seen a lot of price increases, which I'm sure you're aware of. So this is a unique opportunity, but I wanted to make you aware of that one restriction, if you will. You want to make sure to try and find something near you. You have about 8 days to decide if you want to take delivery of a Tesla from current inventory, but there are 2 things I at least want to make you aware of, something that you want to think about as you're deciding, well, should I just take one that's in inventory or should I wait? Something to keep in mind is that it's already been confirmed and approved. If you're okay or you want to maybe save a little bit of money on specifically the Model Y, remember that the new Model Y standard range, which again was rumored to have the new 4680 battery, the standard range is already approved for 2023. Now, you're not going to be able to order that right now from current inventory because it hasn't even rolled off the line yet. But again, something to think about. Elon did say that Tesla will fully qualify for the new EV tax credit. Now, there's no way of knowing until the IRS gives the yes or no basically on which Tesla does qualify. And we don't know exactly when that standard range Model Y will be released. Also, supplies on the Model 3 long range may be limited online because those are currently not available for sale here in 2022. They will, I assume, become available in 2023, but that is in limbo as well. Do you want to take maybe a limited stock of long-range Model 3s in your area, or to get exactly the car that you want? If you're looking at the long-range Model 3, maybe it's color, interior, whatever it happens to be, do you want to wait so you can more customize that order? Of course, if you do take delivery in 2023, you don't get that EV tax credit through the federal credit until you file your taxes. So of course, that's something to think about. Would you like to discount right now, or do you want to wait? Now, something to keep in mind, in 2024, if you take delivery then, it will be point of sale. You will get whatever the qualifying credit is at the time of your Tesla delivery. What I can tell you is I paid $42,000 for my Tesla about a year and a half ago. My monthly payment is $590. But if you are near that number right now, you subtract $7,500 from, let's say, the rear wheel drive, well, you have a higher interest rate now as well. So something to think about. Definitely go on the website, kind of play around with those numbers. Hopefully that gives you some perspective, and also hopefully prices come down. I really want to see it near those 2021 prices. I think they should lower them, but let me know what you think. There's a lot of Tesla channels. I'm trying to grow the channel. If you learned one thing, I'd really, really appreciate you subscribing, and make sure to drop a like so I know you're out there watching. Again, this is Matt from Frunk to Trunk. We will see you in the next video.